Okay. Hi, 8th graders. As you can see, I am gone for the day, so I wanted to create a quick video for you on logos, just kind of similar to what we did the last couple of days, talking about ethos and pathos. So at this point, you should have those worksheets done for task 1 and task 2, the ethos and pathos page, that look like this one, and we're going to do logos. Through this video, I'll help you through a couple of them, and then I expect that you finish those, and then you're also going to have some time to work on an IXL that is kind of difficult, but it puts these three things into practice. So, let's talk about logos. If you look at the arrow here, it says, logos is an appeal to logic. It is a means of convincing the audience through rational thought and reason. So I like to think it's a logical explanation for whatever it is they're trying to convince you of. It makes sense. Or you can easily identify a reason. And remember that reason was kind of the big word that we wrote down, along with ethos being trustworthy and then pathos being emotions. So let's read the how can you incorporate logos. First of all, you can use research and statistics to back up your argument. So if you said 87% of students benefit from textbooks, so the school board should allow us to purchase more textbooks, that would count as logos because it's using a statistic. So if you see a number or it's talking about research, it's most likely logos. It's giving you a reason that this should happen. Okay, second bullet point. You can use a logical process to explain your point. If this happens, then that'll happen. So if you don't want gum disease, then you should brush your teeth regularly. If, as a teacher, I'm trying to get you to realize that doing your homework isn't important, I might say, if you don't do your homework, then you won't learn as much, and then you won't possibly pass the class as well. If this happens, then this happens. Okay? Third point here. You must give convincing, solid evidence and reasons to support your claims. I need a car. It would make me more independent, save me money, and improve my life. Okay? This is a great opening line for a persuasive letter to a parent about needing a car. We give 3 solid reasons that make sense to the audience about why they would need something. Okay, so let's look over here at the examples. I've not eaten meat for 8 years, and I'm fit and healthy. You can't argue that vegetarianism is always unhealthy. Okay, so we've got a statistic here. She has been that way for 8 years. Okay, and that is her reason, that she's not eaten meat for 8 years, and she's still fit and healthy, so saying that vegetarian isn't always unhealthy. Okay. I also think that this one kind of counts for ethos, because if she's a vegetarian for the last 8 years, we should probably trust her as a expert in that field. So this one I think could count for both. Okay, our second example. We have conducted the experiment 57 times, and we get the same results every single time. Again, we have a number, so that makes sense that we would count it as logos. Okay. Third example. This is not my wallet. My wallet has a tear in it. This wallet has no tear in it. Therefore, it cannot be mine. Okay. He's using solid evidence. The wallet has a tear in it. So he's saying that that isn't his. There's a good reason why it's not his. It's solid evidence. You can't really argue with the fact that it doesn't have a tear or it does have a tear. Hopefully you're going to be able to see that one way or the other. Okay. Let's scroll down and look at task 1. Okay. So this one says, for each of the following, I'm just reading up here, for each of the following, explain whether or not you think that logos is being used effectively. Let's look at the example. So she says, I need new jeans. Everyone in my class has new jeans. Okay, it tells us right away that it's no. But if we just look at it, it just says everyone. Is everyone like a good reason why we would need that? Would need new genes? For some of your parents that might work, but maybe not everybody. Okay? And maybe it's, if you read through here, it says, this isn't an effective use of logos, as the reasoning is not logical and convincing. Firstly, it is highly unlikely that everyone has new genes, also known as hyperbole, but we'll get into talking about that later. Secondly, just because other people have new genes, it doesn't logically follow that the speaker needs them. So, that's just a little bit of an exaggeration. Okay. Number 1 says, all men and women will die. You are a man, therefore you will die one day. Okay, I kind of think this one is kind of effective, so I would put a check mark in this box, because we do know that eventually we're all going to die, right? And if we go back and we look up at the top, I would write something about this point. It does give us solid evidence. I mean, we know that we're going to die, so it's logical, and everybody has died up to that point. Okay. Let's look at number 2. Everyone has children. Therefore, everyone needs to think about the schooling of his or her children. Okay, I'm going to check no for this one. Everybody doesn't have children. I mean, schooling isn't important, but I think the reason this one doesn't work is because not everybody has children. That's not really a true fact or reason to be able to use. So, I would say no for that one. Okay? So, I want you guys to take a look at 3, 4, and 5, and then we can talk about them. I want you to answer them, but we can talk about them on Thursday when I'm back. Okay? And then task 2 asks you again, for each of the following scenarios, write your own persuasive sentence using logos. Okay? You are trying to persuade your brother to stop eating chocolate. Okay. So we have to think about what is a reason that he should stop eating chocolate. And then we can use that to create a sentence using some logos here. So we're going to pretend that this brother's name is Pat. That's my brother-in-law's name, so we'll use his name. So we're trying to persuade Pat, who's my brother, to stop eating chocolate. And one reason that I can think of is that it isn't very healthy. Okay? So I'm going to say that something about being healthy is my reason. So, Pat, you know that you should stop eating chocolate because it is unhealthy to eat as much chocolate as you eat. Period. Then I could also say, in fact, you could make up some statistic in this case. So, the more chocolate that you eat, the better chance that you will have gum disease or something like that. Those are both reasons that you could use. So what I want you to do is I want you to try 2 and 3 as well and finish this top part. So you've got time to do that. Once you are done with those 2 things, and I'll write these things over on the board for you, but what I want you to do once you have finished the worksheet is get your iPad that's assigned to you, and then you are going to go into your language arts, iExcel, and I think this is going to take me back to the screen. Sorry, it's taking a second, but you're going to go into language arts, and you are going to make sure that you are in 8th grade. Some of you, especially those of you in 5th hour, some of you are working in 7th grade, so that means that I have to check things twice. And I just took the scores from the last one, but I'm not going to do that going forward. So I want you to find the one, I believe it's P1. I should have looked before. L-M-N-O-P. Okay, so P5. Asks us to identify appeals to ethos, pathos, and logos in advertisement. Okay, you guys, I'm going to tell you right now that this is tricky. Okay? It's not one you can rush through. It's not the easiest one that we're going to do. And so make sure you're thinking closely and critically about each of them, and hopefully you'll figure out tricks as you're going. So it's going to ask you, what is the main persuasive appeal used in this ad? And the first one is Slide X face wash. It says 3 years of clinical trials and 4 times as effective. So we've got numbers in this ad, which tells us that it should probably be logos because it's a statistic. So let's see if Mrs. Tool is right. Okay. I'm going to do one more with you. So SoLo-Win, the new science of skincare. Skin rich in hyaluronic acid, skin low in hyaluronic acid. Okay, so the pictures are a little bit different. I think this one is again logos. I think it's another reason because it looks like this skin is better than this skin. Again, hopefully I'm right. Okay. What is the main persuasive appeal used in this ad? Have an adventure. Eco Life Activewear. Okay. So this one, there isn't really an expert, or like we're not trusting that anything is special about this ad. There isn't somebody famous that's in it. I could see the reason being have an adventure, but I more so think that this is playing on the idea that we need to have something exciting and some type of adventure, which I think is an emotion. And these people look happy on their adventure. So, there we go. Okay, so what is the main persuasive appeal in this ad? We've got a wireless company, it looks like, and they're giving us some reasons to, it's official, SOCOM has the strongest wireless signal in the nation. Okay? I'll be honest, I got this one wrong before because I thought it was character. Like, I thought that because there were other companies listed here that it was better than those and we should trust this company more. But it's actually a reason. So, SOCOM has the strongest wireless signal in the nation, which is the reason that it gives you. So hopefully I'm right this time. Okay, so as you can see, you have to think about it critically. And once you get, I think it's into the 80s, it actually like makes you pick a couple different ethos, pathos, or logos. You have to identify 2 of them. So make sure that you're taking your time and doing your best. We will see how we're at. I am hoping that you have enough time to finish this IXL, but we'll talk. Miss Jones and I will talk, and we'll judge it by what she says and how you guys do. Okay. So, Miss Jones, you have if they have plenty of time to work, you just let me know, and we'll go from there. So, have a good day. Work like the students I know you can. Be on task and working hard.